Greetings, YouTube. This is Fragments of Memory once again, and I'm responding to the Lou 28's video Miss Independent. Well, in the culture, especially in black culture in America, you have that idea of being Miss Independent. And the idea of she's got her own house, she's got her own car, she's got her own money, so she's independent and therefore doesn't need any type of man in her life unless she so chooses to have a man in her life. Now, on the surface, this sounds like a good idea. Independent woman, equal rights, so on and so forth. But the reality is, this is a fallacy. Because number one, there is no such thing as being independent. Everyone is dependent upon something. This is true in nature, within the animal kingdoms, i.e., the tiger kingdom against the lamb kingdom, against the lion, and so on and so forth. Even in the kingdom of the other animals upon this planet, there are things called ecosystems where one organism is dependent upon another organism in some way, and each has its part in the circle of life. Therefore, independence is a fallacy. It is a bold-faced lie. It is a snake oil salesman promise. Now, just to be clear, I'm going to define the word independence. Now, the word independence comes from this dictionary right here. This is Webster's New World College Dictionary, 3rd edition. I want you to get a good look at this. And independent. To be independent, first definition, free from the influence, control, or determination of another or others. Specifically, A, free from the rule of another, controlling or governing oneself. Self-governing. B, free from influence, persuasion, or bias, objective, and independent observer. Relying only on oneself or one's own abilities, judgment, etc. Self-confident, self-reliant. Independent in his thinking. That's a definition there. D, not adhering to any political party or organization. Not connected or related to another, to each other, or to a group. Separate. 2, A, not depending on another or others, especially for financial support. B, large enough to enable one to live without working, set of an income, a fortune, etc. C, having an independent income, not needing to work for a living. 3, of or having to do with independence, and independence is with a capital I. Now, here's where I'm going to break this down just a little bit. First of all, are we truly free? Now, I believe independence in and of itself isn't necessarily a fallacy, but complete and total independence is. Because there are times where you are not free from the influence or the rule of another. And that there are some times where you don't govern yourself. When you look at a commercial and listen to the commercial tell you what to do, that's not independence. You're dependent upon that commercial to tell you what to do. Or the fashion industry. When you read magazines like Cosmo, or when you read magazines like Essence or Ebony, or whatever the case might be, and they're telling you what's hot, what's in fashion, and what fashions to avoid. This is no longer being independent. This is taking your cue from someone else, i.e. a magazine in this case, or public opinion. Therefore, you are not independent of that. And the Lou made a good point. The Lou 28, he made a really good point about how many women that might be getting state's assistance or being on welfare or being a single mom or getting alimony, they're depending upon that to come through for them every month. And even if a woman has an education, she had to depend upon a university to give her that education and to accept the money that she was coming with, usually sometimes financial aid. So there is something that is dependent upon something else, which of course makes things flow the way it's supposed to, just like in nature. So I find it disingenuous, and I'm with the Lou on this, when we have pop culture and popular music go, she got her own house, she got her own this, she got her own that, and of course the women go to the clubs and they listen to that song and they play it on the radios and they blast it and they bounce and dance to it, and they're buying into that lie of independence, when in reality Nobody is 100% independent. Yes, you can be independent in thinking in some ways, but you're not 100% independent. Because right now, if our economy did tank, we would be in some bad shape right now. Or if the state stopped supporting people and giving them states assistance, a lot of these women would be in really bad shape right now. And I have to give it to the Lou when he talks about how, as a man, there is not that kind of support system or net to catch him when he falls. If a man falls, he falls. If a man rises, he rises, but he doesn't. He, in essence, has to bear the brunt of whatever comes at him. So you have a lot of guys trying to work multiple jobs, or you have many guys that may have a job and then try to work as many hours as they can on that job just to keep their head above water. So I think the whole Miss Independent thing is just another ruse of the feminist movement, another residual of the feminist movement, telling women, yes, you can have it all, and you don't need a man, even though you never heard a man say, I don't need a woman. Because I truly believe that as much as I get on the ladies, or at least criticize ladies, I still think that men and women need each other, that we have certain strengths that complement them and they have certain strengths that complement us. And it's very disingenuous for especially the black woman to now go, I don't need no man, and N words ain't you know what. And of course, they start using that type of language, and it seems, well, if you say N words ain't nothing, well, what if you have a son? Are you saying that he's nothing, even though he came from you, and that you're not going to train him to be a better man? But I think I've harped on this on another post or something like that. But I just want to go back to that. The Miss Independent thing, the totally independent, that's a fallacy. Only God Almighty is truly independent. The Creator doesn't need anything from His creation. We need Him, but He don't need us. So I do find that Americans, and me being American, born and educated, I can say we are definitely a blessed people. We have forgotten that we have been blessed, and that blessing can just as easily be taken away. We've also forgotten that women have a tendency, especially in America, I think, a lot of black American women have bought into the lie of entitlement, I think. I'm entitled to this, I'm entitled to that. At least that's how it appears. And I can only speak from that, from what I hear. Women always bounce into, I got my own this, I got my own that. And in reality, you don't really have your own anything. Because at any time, even if you're a homeowner, if you don't pay the taxes on your home, the state or the city or the municipality you live in can just yank your house away from you. Isn't that something? But we're supposed to live in the free United States. But that's a whole other subject too. So I would challenge every woman or every woman in America, at least black American women especially, to at least acknowledge that you're not as independent as you think you are. Yes, you are capable. Yes, you are strong individuals. And yes, you can make it happen. However, don't think that you did it alone. Even the great opera singer Marian Anderson, she said that no one makes it on their own. No one stands on the pedestal on their own. Someone had to lay the stone flat for them in order for that person to stand on that stepping stone. So don't think that any move you made, somebody helped you get there. There is no such thing as the rugged individualist. Yes, we need to take advantage of the opportunities, and yes, we have control of ourselves, and yes, we need to go out there and do what we have to do. But somebody helped you along the way. And don't ever forget that. Even that black man that you said wasn't SHIT, he helped you too, most likely. He either gave you money to go to take that class, gave you rides to work, or probably looked after your kids, or whatever the case might be, because there are good brothers out here. So I would say, Lou, keep up the good work, man. And I do like your quote about men will lose money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing after money. But that is a good one, man. But keep it going. Peace go with you, and just keep telling it like it is, man, or keep calling it how you see it without any fear. Take care, brother. Peace.